Thank you.
According to a recent UNESCO report, Africa holds all the cards to become one of the next world fashion leaders, thanks in part to the success of catwalk shows taking place across the world, including Africa Fashion Week London. Over the past few years, AFWL has served as a vital platform for promoting African fashion, fostering collaboration and showcase continent's cultural richness and creativity on an international scale. Earlier, I was joined in the studio by the platform's founder, Her Royal Majesty Queen Ronke Ademeluyi Ogunwusi of Ile-Ife Kingdom, alongside designer and art director Bola Obileye. Your Royal Majesty Queen Ronke Ademeluyi Ogunwusi of Ile-Ife Kingdom and Bola Obileye, thank you so much for joining me in the Channel's Business Global studio. Thank you for bringing such colour and majesty and warmth. And you also smell amazing. It's a shame our viewers can't smell you, but I'm really excited to have you in the studio, Your Royal Majesty. Talk to me about Africa's billion-dollar fashion industry, because you have contributed massively to that, particularly when it comes to the West embracing African culture, because of course you are the founder of Africa Fashion Week London. I believe it's in its 18th year?
It's 14th year.
It's 14th year,
yes.
Soon to be 18.
Soon to be 18.
Soon to be 18,
yes.
But we're going to get to the 14th one in November. Talk to me about Africa's cultural influence and identity on the global stage and how it's evolved in the 14 years that you've been doing AFWL.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us. It's quite an honour to be here. And you've been to Africa Fashion Week London. Yeah, you've attended a few. It started in 2011, and it was born out of that urgent need to create a platform for African and Black creatives to thrive. Back then, there wasn't a lot going on social media. We didn't have the mainstream fashion houses were not incorporating, Black fashion and African fashion on a global stage, probably because they didn't understand what African fashion was all about.
Were they wearing it then? Did they embrace it?
They were not wearing it then. Even as Africans, we were shying away from it then. So we were not embracing it. But over the years, the perception has changed, It has evolved. And we see a lot of non-Africans, wearing African outfits now. We see this at Africa Fashion Week London. Our audience, the people who come, our visitors, about 50% of them are non-Africans. And, they want to see the vibrancy. They want to see, the beautiful colours, the radiant colours that come out of Africa. And, Africa Fashion Week London provides them with that. It provides them an opportunity to see what they want to see on the high streets.
Well, what do you think? How has it changed, and how are you involved in Africa Fashion Week?
So I joined Africa Fashion Week London over 10 years ago. And when it started, it was just an incredible platform for me because we were doing things that were pretty much new. So making handbags out of African prints, actually going to create our own fabrics like chiffon and all of that. And I remember back then that everyone used to think it was novel. They used to be like, wow, wow. But we never had a platform to show this. So Africa Fashion Week London was such an incredible platform for people like me and other designers then to showcase our work where people understood, knew the difference and embraced it. So to see how far Africa Fashion Week London has come, it's so incredible. It's exciting for me. And it gets better and better.
It's so exciting. And 15 years is a really long time. Particularly, you do it in quite pricey areas of London. It costs a lot of money. It's going for over a week. And as you said, the audience has changed. You are starting to see people from really established fashion publications like Vogue attending your events. Do you think that AFWL has actually had a specific imprint on the way people in the West perceive African fashions?
I think it has, because it was after the success of Africa Fashion Week London. So Africa Fashion Week London in 2011. So I remember when I came up with the idea and spoke to a few people about it, I was advised to change the name. I was told that the name African would not sell in the UK. I was
2011.
2011.
It's not that long ago.
It's not that long at all.
I was discouraged, that no one wears African fashion
From Africans or the English?
From Africans, yeah, because we were not really embracing our culture then, unlike now where we have, our music, our food, our fashion, we proudly... Football as well, we wear it with so much pride. Back then, it wasn't like that. So when I spoke about having an Africa Fashion Week in London, everyone shied away from it. No one wanted to be associated with it. But I still went ahead. I did it. We did it. The first edition we had the Bishopsgate, Gibson Hall. Bishopsgate in London, not far from Liverpool Street.
I think we're showing some of those pictures now.
And it was amazing because the turnout, so we got a venue for about 700 people and we had about 4,500. So
for the first event?
For the first event. So the queue was almost all the way to Liverpool Street. Wow. And then I remember the police coming, to see what was going on because they had never seen, it was during summer then, it was August in 2011. And they came to check what was going on because the vibrancy, the colours, imagine that queue all the way, it was a Saturday, offices were not open.
Even with the three of us now, I think we've brightened up central London, haven't we?
Yeah, the headgears, the rappers and everything, the vibrancy. And they were just gobsmacked. That really, is this what African fashion is all about?
Absolutely.
And everyone started talking about it. So I think it was the success of that, that now inspired cities around the world to come up with their own Africa Fashion Week.
Absolutely, and it's African fashion is now embedded in the fabric of London, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Olori, I think it would be rude of me not to talk about the kingdom of which you are the queen, Ile-Ife. It's an ancient city in southwestern Nigeria, and as we all know, it's regarded as the traditional spiritual homeland of the Yoruba people. Has becoming queen changed what your plans are for African Fashion Week London? Because of course it must have even more significance and importance now.
In a way, yes. But before I became a queen, I was a princess of Ile-Ife Kingdom as well. So my husband is the 51st Oni of Ife, His Imperial Majesty.
Hopefully
Oni
he's watching.
Adeyeye Enitan Ogunwusi. He's the 51st Oni of Ife. And my great-grandfather was the 48th Oni of Ife as well.
Oh, wow. I don't think many people will know that.
So I've always had royalty in me.
I can tell.
So becoming a queen has enabled me to learn more about our culture.
Yeah.
Becoming a queen has enabled me to, how do I put it? It has enabled me to see more of the Yoruba culture, work with rural people in, in the rural areas. And that is what inspired, setting up the Adire Textile Hub in Ile-Ife, bringing the ancient techniques of Adire, textile making, and modernizing it and working with, the rural women to come up with different designs, but also contemporary. How do I put that word?
Contemporary?
Yeah, making them into contemporary designs, working with designers like Bola, So merging designers like Bola, who are contemporary designers, with artisans, who are back in Ile-Ife and have never been to the UK or never been out of Ife before, and bringing that together.
Thank you for all the work that you've been doing, and I do look forward to coming in October. Front row.
Most certainly.
Front row.
Definitely.
We'll look after you.
Yes, and hopefully the Nigeria delegation will be there. Your Royal Majesty, Queen Runke Ademiluyi Ogunwusi of Ile-Ife Kingdom, and Bola Obileye, designer and art director. Thank you so much for your time today, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
Coming up.